Gun of Terror! Welcome back to Group A of the Anniversary Cup. Hero has been out for 10 years, so here's the Anniversary Cup. We have a tournament going on with a pretty hefty prize pool, more than 3,000 euros currently. And we have a lot of teams, so group stage is where it's at, and we are in Group A right now, and this is the winner bracket semi-final, so to say, between the Exodia stack and Team Ash. So after we had the Underdog Cups, which were very well received, so I think you guys had a lot of fun with it, judging from the comments. Very happy about that. I'm probably going to run a few more like it in the future, because it was very enjoyable. Also, it seemed like the players had a lot of fun and really enjoyed it. But now we're going to, again, cast our eyes on what the top players are doing. I always want to say pros, but they're not really pros. It's, at the best, you could say semi-pros. Then again, obviously, into the conversation again, what is a pro? And it's kind of weird how people don't understand anymore what pro means. Pro literally stands for professional. It doesn't mean that you're a professional streamer. It means that you are a top player that makes his money out of contracts or out of prize money just playing and winning tournaments. Not a pro streamer. Pro player, pro streamer. Different things. So, Gun of Terror is our first map. But, as I said, top-level play right now. So we're going to go through the group stages first, and then we focus on the main event. So we will be here for a couple of weeks with all of this content. We have a best-of-3 series in our hands currently. And also one thing to point out is that there are no draft restrictions. So there's like nothing going on, like you can only play hero once. It's a concept that I personally really like, but obviously at some point players also want to have more of a vanilla experience again, so don't be surprised if you all of a sudden see Genji a bit more often. Dainu is going for Jimmy. So, they've been talking about this a little bit. We had a lot of Raynor picked in the Underdog Cup too, and even in the past on the top level play, Raynor was always insanely quickly eliminated by the opponent. He's still struggling from the fact that he doesn't have an escape tool. The only thing that he has is self-sustainability, which can help, and if you land your penetrating round, that's obviously something you can also use to create a little bit of distance. But generally speaking, if he gets caught out in a bad position, he goes down. And the blue team, they've been talking a bit about how to make Raynor work, and that he is just a very reliable damage dealer, which he definitely is, but I want to see if they can make that work. And also if this is actually a trend that catches on. Because this is going to be one of those things where if they make it happen against one or two teams, alright, but are other teams picking it up? Is anybody else going to be successful with it? Is it something that is just a bit of an oddity that will be played a few times and then forgotten? Or are we really going to see a bit of a different trend here? So very curious throughout the tournament what role Jimmy is going to play, how often he will be picked, and if other teams are adopting it, or if it's just something that doesn't work out in a proper tournament scenario. So we'll keep our eyes on that. The fact alone that they are picking Jimmy that high in priority is already telling you that this was played in scrims, and obviously successfully. So they don't want him to be banned, because if you know what your opponent is going for, you can always shut that down. Now we got Diablo, Blaze, and Rhaegar. It would be, by the way, funny if we all of a sudden ended up with Jimmy bans. That would be incredible. We get Anna, and we get Varian. That Benny back here in the team is just amazing to me. And he's just going for his Varian plays again. I love that. He's been playing the Toy Soldier nearly exclusively the last time that he participated in the tournament. A couple of heroes to deviate away from Varian if the hero wasn't available anymore. But it's just making me happy to see not only Benny play, but also him straight up going for the same playbook that he used in the past. So Varian it is. We get Zeratul and Jaina on the side of Team Ash. That's actually a combo that they utilized in the previous series. Not going for the Wombo attempt with Void Prison and Ring of Frost, but hey, maybe now it's going to happen. A man can hope. And then on the left side for the blue team here on Gun of Terror, our starting map in the series, we of course need a bit more damage. Jimmy alone is not going to cut it for them. So what's it going to be? Something that Anna can boost even further. Yes, Diablo and Blaze, you have a hefty front line for Team Ash. But Thrall is the final pick, so we have a triple front line. And with that, we're heading into the first map of the series. Let's go. Exodia stack against Team Ash. On the left, we have Hazorps on Thrall going into Rolling Thunder as level 1 talent. Yasuo is playing Anna. We got Bloodcool on Hogger. Bad Benny on Varian, and Dino with Raynor. On the right side, Team Ash with Bishops playing Zeratul again. Ranella is on Rhaegar. We got Darenushka on Jaina. Anyone is playing Diablo, and Maitri on Blaze, rocking that side lane. So, all eyes on Jimmy, and let's see if they can make that work. I mean, Dino always has some pretty cool ideas. This is a little bit reminiscent of what Nick has been doing quite a lot, just bringing heroes back into the meta. But obviously, there are downsides to Jimmy. A lot of people in the past have tried to bring him back. Oftentimes, it just backfired heavily because, yeah, he got farmed hard. Now, winning a game or two with a hero, don't really see the big problem, but is it going to make an actual impact on the meta throughout the tournament? That's what my big question is now. For the time being, we got a grenade build on Anna, so she went straight into contact healing on level 1. Quick rotations between the lanes by both of the teams right now. And I'm still hoping that we at least get the Ring of Frost for Jaina. Actually, if they go for VP, they have Apocalypse also to combo off, not only the Ring. So you can go VP, Ring, and Apocalypse. It has fallen out of fashion though to go for combos like this, simply because they are easy to interrupt. You know they're coming, you're watching out for them, and then you can interrupt them by simply applying pressure to the heroes that are involved in, stunning a couple of them out. So there's a lot of things that you can do in order to screw that up, and that's why a lot of those are just not played as much anymore. But alright, for now we have everyone just still trying to get some early pressure going. At the top with the camp, the red team is already successful here, so on the macro level they are doing a lot of work here. At the bottom of the map, of course, the blue team is also pushing, don't get me wrong, but they are able to do just a little bit more. That wall is already more or less destroyed. Down at the bottom of the map, they're just starting it up, and now Diablo is coming in too to try and help out. Ah, the jet propulsion already missing. Sleep Dart and Penetrating Round, both of those are of course kicking in. We have the taunt from Varian as they're moving down to the bottom of the map, and well, with initially Blaze missing the jet propulsion, one of the problems was of course right away that they had to retreat and couldn't get anything done here. On level 4 we have Behemoth armor, so trying to get more survivability for Jimmy, more stacks with Thrall and his Frostwolf pack. And Horga has just ping-ponging around again. Dong, 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 dong. Yeah, there we go. I'm still looking at Jaina. I'm like, please, give me ring. Some amazing wombos would always be nice. As with all stacks, long games generally benefit that hard. So if you're able to get some stacks in on the Behemoth armor, you're gonna get the big health, of course. But you need to be pretty diligent on the mechanics with Jimmy in order to get those stacks reliably. Especially throughout the early game, you can still focus on that, but later on it becomes a bit more tricky. For now, they're trying for Horga. Ah, just the timing. Perfect from Bloodcool. Making sure that Diablo cannot stun him out. That could have been the end of him right there. So, Bishops also now starting to move back in. Making the next play for Dino. Okay. Here they go for Horga, still chasing Jimmy, and he barely makes it out, but welcome to the problem. This is exactly the issue right here. He lived, but honestly, he should have died. And it's exactly the problem that we're talking about. If you can somehow make that work, he is a very reliable damage dealer that can have a big impact on those games. But he is also oftentimes an easy target, especially if you can get the drop on him. If you can shield him well, and he survives, the fight can turn against you, but this is what Team Ash will likely try and do throughout the game. Attempt to target him when they see an opportunity. This is like the important caveat here. When they see an opportunity. Because if you're just single-mindedly diving for the same hero over and over and over again, then normally the rest of the team should be able to punish you. So I don't think we're gonna see too much of that. But yes, again, they go for Jimmy once more. Self-sustain is out, and Dino makes it out again. So they are keeping him alive. He's not able to get any damage connected during that time, but they are keeping him alive. It's always a bit of a question if a trade is able to kick in or not. But as I said, it's pretty clear that the red team is actively looking for these situations now. Jimmy himself, top damage currently. Not that it means a whole lot. We haven't seen a kill yet. We are 5 minutes in. Not a whole lot of big fights. 8,000 damage for him right now. Thrall with 6,000. Blaze is sitting at 7. On the side lane is actually the top damage dealer for the red team. And Thrall had also his Frostwolves reset again. So he's back to 1 stack on his level 1. Right, so top right. Well, Renella, Bishops, Anushka. Get another quick channel over here for the camp. Let's see if they're going to try and push with it again. Blue team this time hasn't taken their own. Ana, sleep dart. Yeah, Blaze is in trouble. There's too many heroes around right now. Nice rotation. That's the first blood of the game. Level 10 abilities are also available, and they're just going to trade the fort. They're realizing that they have absolutely no chance to save the fort at the top with the mercenary camp pushing in too, and the entire setup that we have here with the heroes in play. So instead, they're just going for the fort at the bottom of the map and make it a trade. Ana went into the Eye of Horrors. Unfortunately for us, we get neither Apocalypse, nor Ring of Frost, nor the VP. Bombos are fun, but it's oftentimes just stronger on this level if you go into different abilities, and that's what they did. We get Lightning Breath, Water Elemental, and then also Might of the Nerazim for Zeratul. So, talking Zeratul, just sitting at the top. We're going to see a lot of side laning from Bishops. Seat is up and could now be taken. But it is a very, very even game right now. Nobody's willing to play too aggressive and get potentially murdered here. So, yeah. Blaze is still down at the bottom of the map and trying to defend a bit against the camp that was taken. The fort here obviously destroyed, as I already said earlier. But now with the seed up, nobody has really gone for it. I mean, it's been up for a while. So that seed is fully ignored. Everybody is just playing this out through the map. And have not made a single move here yet. Guard of Terror is becoming the next Volskaya Foundry from the looks of it. At least for now. Thrall also taking over in the damage department. Blaze shortly behind them. Seems like they're finally making a play for this. Very delayed first one. Varian trying to interrupt. Doesn't even get one of the two. Then we had Ana. She could have interrupted even a bit more, but they were obviously hoping with the two of them working in tandem to just delay this further. But that didn't pan out. The lead in experience, quite nice for the blue team though, so they're a bit ahead here. Maybe we move for Thrall. Wall stun is in. Then the side approach against Jimmy. Maybe a bit optimistic by the fire bat here. My try was all alone, and Raynor just started to unleash the damage. Now with level 13 talents, we have also lining up, so cooldown reduction is in. That is always one of the nice ones. If you're really looking for a utility play and to try and keep people away from you, having cooldown reduction on that is going to help you a lot. So if you get a full 6-second reduction, that's fantastic, but even the 3 seconds are already worth quite a bit if you're consistently getting attacked here and you need to keep opponents away from you. So yeah, that's something with the adjustment that could have a big impact now on how this is going to plan out whenever there's a gank against Jimmy. Both teams have their level 13 talents. Second seed is coming up, this time on the blue team. And they're grabbing this one quickly. I mean, Zeratul is around, but... well... I was just about to say, should be a bit careful that he doesn't get taunted now that he's been revealed. Yeah, Benny also with a fantastic mount here. It's unique, it's epic. I like it. Much better than the ugly lizard. The cousin or brother of this one. Sundering not having an impact there, so it's a bit unfortunate. That's a 60-second cooldown. that is still there for Thrall before I can use it again. So they were trying to grab that kill in a good flank. If it had connected, they get their kill. They lock it in. But next seed is up, and this one is a bit on neutral territory. So now we're actually going to see which team is going to try and make some plays here. Yeah, over here, Siege Giants are taken, stolen away from Team Ash. Varian is still anchoring everything. It's actually a bit of a weird one. With the map set and everything, it's honestly... Varian is just trying to go full camouflage with this. Second seed for the Exodia stack. Yeah, there's the taunt. Alright, the quest is completed for Thrall. Ancestral had to be used, but Anna! Yeah, destroying that a bit. And here comes Sundering again. That's the end of Diablo. He'll be back, don't you worry about it. But still, nicely done. That Ancestral had very little impact there. So, nice coordination from the Exodia stack, especially also with what Anna brought to the fight, of course. We have 12 stacks on the level 4 for Jimmy, so some extra hit points, but not really all that much. The level 16 may now get the synergy with Paint and Rats, that's still the important choice for them. But now that the next seed has spawned and the blue team has a level 16 talent advantage, this is getting interesting because we could get the first Garden Terror here. There's still 17 seconds left, and with a bit of diligent play, Team Ash could get enough XP to get to level 16 talents, but then even on that eye level fight, they still have to win it. So Zeratul is starting to rotate back over as the blue team continues to pressure the mid lane. Yeah, and yeah, it's not going to make a move here. They've already seen him. He dodged out. But yeah, they're going to grab this one. And it's going to come down to the next seed. The next one is going to be the big one. One team will get Garden Terrors. Now, Master Warblade is in. After we had the Mending Strikes. Anna just goes for a little bit more pew pew pew. But down here, Thrall is again pushing a couple of waves out. So this Mercenary Camp and the Catapult can potentially damage that wall at the bottom key. We haven't really seen a lot fall yet. They exchanged the forts at the top and the bot lane, of course. But outside of that, it's 2 kills to 0. We're 12 minutes in. Everybody is mega cautious right now. They're super careful. Nobody wants to be the team that overextends and then gets wrecked. Zeratul is able to get away. Had to also use Might of the Narazim for it. Not really a big deal for him. Blaze is defending down at the bottom of the map, but they're trying to go for Diablo again. Ancestral, and too late. Full cooldown though. Diablo down, Jaina down, and yeah, Rhaegar is able to get out. But that's a full cooldown on the Ancestral. And then on top of that, we have Jaina and Diablo both destroyed. And Diablo was not back up to a full stack of souls. So he is down. 25,000 damage now for Jimmy. And there's actually nobody on the other side that can even remotely match that. Thrall is on 23,000. Varian is on 13. So it's not like Jimmy's damage is like insane and totally out of this world. Nobody else can even match it. But the red team certainly can't. They haven't had any well-connected attacks just yet. They had a couple of attempts to go for Jimmy, and they twice nearly took him down, but it failed. And now they also have to face off against Garden Terror, so we have more mercenary camps. We have Garden Terrors pushing out, and well, let's see. Bottom of the map, for example, this one could be rough if the blue team decides to join up here. But they're instead focusing on the mid lane, as it seems. Actually, now that Varian makes an appearance, Jimmy could also rotate in from the middle, and that's what he does. So they're trying to get some damage on the keep itself. And the mid lane gets also pushed. Hogger is currently sitting tight there. So at the bottom of the map, it's a 4-man attack. In the middle, it's only the side laner. Well, they got some damage out of it, and they continue to push. They have Siege Giants, and they have a Catapult. Catapult, ooh, made it past and attacks the keep. Good news. Catapults are getting smarter these days, apparently. Look at that. Dibbles is down again, and Exodia stack is really doing work now. So this is starting to get insanely difficult. With level 20 just around the corner for the blue team, they have a huge opportunity to take multiple keeps out. They can take the one in the middle. The one at the bottom of the map has nearly been destroyed, so an easy rotation towards the bot lane would guarantee that it falls, unless they are willing to go for the core already, which doesn't seem to be the case. Maybe if they can get kills here, but that keep is their first target. And talking about getting kills, they're taking Zeratul out, and that's only 3 defenders left. That's the play right there. Blaze is down, and the Exodia stack, one of the favorites in the tournament, of course. They're moving in for the core, trying to take Team Ash out on Garden of Terror, and that is game. Game number 1 goes to the blue team as they take the W on the first map. GG.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Dragonshire, map number 2. So the Exodia stack with a big W and Jimmy for the win. Now, as I already explained a dozen times on the last map, again, I don't really look at individual wins of Jimmy, especially when performed by Exodia stack, and immediately go like, oh my god, he's back. I want to see how other teams react to it, if he gets adopted by other teams as well, if he has a meta impact, or if it is just the latest flavor of the month that we're going to get here. So, will there be a meta impact? Yes, no, we'll see. But Exodia stack is likely going to play him a bit more. Dragonshire, and we get a Vikings ban. Already not happy. Not happy at all. Give me the Vikings. A Jimmy ban would be nice. Give Jimmy the priority that he deserves. So, we have on our first pick, map number 2 is best of 3. Again, you can play all of the heroes that you played in the previous map. There's no draft restriction here whatsoever. So, something to keep in mind. We're still in the group stage, of course. But yeah, let's go. Number 1. Actually, Dehaga. Okay. Dehaga again for Dragonshire. Dragonshire is actually a map that, generally speaking, I also quite like. It's a bit sad to me that the Vikings got banned here. They really want to get to a point where Jimmy gets banned. They really do, don't they? They go for the Marine and for the Fire Bat this time. So they're just going to pick Dino and try to win with him until people react to it. They're going to try and bully, like brute force their way through with this. Alright, we'll see how it goes. I wanted to talk about the Vikings though, because it's really old school style to see Vikings on Dragonshire. The good old times where you would always try and move Balog between the fort and the keep of the opponent and simply, you know, take the waves down. The times where the Moreno brothers were playing this. Lucifron, Vortex, Shat was doing that for a long time too. So, yeah. Zagara gets played by Team Ash, which is actually kind of funny because Zagara is also a hero that Dino was really trying to bring back into the meta, and with success. So his latest hobby horse is Jimmy, and we'll find out if it works with him too. It's actually the fascinating thing about heroes in general. You have a game that is 10 years old, and obviously by now we get some small patches that at least shift the meta slightly, that impacts things. But even outside of that, we always have like something new that keeps popping up. So there's always a bit of a development that goes on, which is pretty wild if you ask me. But yeah, you cornered at some point be kind of nice. Honestly, I personally, what I would probably like the most if they would adjust a couple of maps. They could really change a few maps and have a huge impact with that. I would like that a lot. A lot of people are always asking for new maps. I think this is a totally wrong way to go about it. We have way too many maps as is. We have way too many maps. People have no idea how to play half the maps that are in the pool. It's ridiculous. So just fixing some of the maps that are already out there, that would be pretty cool. But yeah, we got Mirrodin and Blaze. So this time no variant for Benny. Instead we have Storm Bolts into a Jet Propulsion. We still have Anna too. So they have a lot of stuns to shield Raynor. They have their Sleep Dart from Anna as well. They can also try and play again against a Burst Healer. Anduin this time gets played though, and we have Genji. So you can tell that Team Ash is now leaning a bit heavier with Genji at least, and the Light Bomb engage. into the mobility to try and target Jimmy. So if the team is really playing on point and guarding him, this could go very well. But it's kind of cool. It's like a little bit of a mini game or a mini story that you have in the tournament now. So, yeah, we'll see. We're only in the group stage, so there's a lot of games still going on. Rexa gets taken, and that brings us straight to map number 2. Dragonshire, ladies and gentlemen. The Exodia stack is in the lead. They have the 1-0 against Team Ash. Hazu Ops on the left side with Rexa. We get Dino on Raynor again. But Benny with Muradin. Blaze played by Bloodcool for the blue team. And Anna by Yazu for the second time here. So teams will have to deal with these comps at some point. Now, my try on the Haka for Team Ash. Bishops and Genji. We get our Renushka on Zagara, Renella on Anduin, and anyone on Johanna. So, let the games begin. Again, Ace in the hole on level 1, and we got contact healing for Anna. Obviously, you want to work around your slows a little bit, around your stuns. Empower Jimmy even further, and that's likely what we're going to get. Don't expect a change in build from him. Misha already up at the forefront. Nice. And it's just bearing down on the opponent. Oh yeah. We're starting early. Genji just zipping around. But yeah. Now, top side. Dehaka. He already died in the he's gonna die again, doesn't he? He died in the previous game pretty early and was ganked up on very quickly. And that is the end of him. So the side laner is gone. That was well done. And it was a rotation, honestly, that they could have seen coming there. I think he thought he was fine. But nope, that was a very quick kill. Now they're trying to make that too, as they are body blocking Jojo. Jet propulsion, and we say... Bye-bye! Yep. Jojo gone. It is tough. So, that's 2 kills to 0, just as we're opening things up. There's a reason the Exodia stack is one of the favorites in the tournament. Yep. So, now with the rotation down towards the bottom of the map, I mean, Hazu is of course controlling this. Sitting on that side lane. Normally you see Rex up at the top lane, but the way that the game played out for them, they now have the rotation going on between the top and the middle. Down here at the bottom of the map, Hazu totally safe, even with Genji moving in. We're talking a lot about Jimmy, of course. Jimmy isn't the only target here. You can still execute those plays with the light bomb engage later, and just the rotation of Genji alone against someone like Rexa pretty easily. He's now finding himself locked into a 1v1 against Zagara. So, creep already on the map. And Team Ash still has to find their stride here. They still have to find a moment where they can execute this properly. So, let's see. Well, that is an early Dragonite. Nobody's interrupting in the middle. And Muradin is turning into a big lizard. So, there he is. Yeah, huge lizard. Let's go. Lizards are a little bit weird here, by the way. So I personally grew up in an area where you have like lizards, eidechsen, like small geckos essentially, and I absolutely love these things. And normally it's a sign that you have a very healthy garden if you have some lizards in your garden and they eat, you know, like a lot of the bugs and stuff. Talking about bugs, the Haga is dead again. That's the second time, but this time they get a counter kill. And yeah, so in Spain, a couple of lizards there as well, and I was actually looking to see how do you how you can attract lizards again, what they need. If you put that into Google and you're trying to find out how to attract lizards, the only thing that you find is how to kill them. It's like, I don't really know what's going on, but apparently lizards are invading people's houses and bringing in then disease and stuff. I've never seen a lizard in a house, but it's just absolutely crazy. People are trying to kill lizards everywhere. I love these things. I'm just like, what is wrong with everybody? So, kind of wild. Dragonite obviously didn't last very long, duh. I mean, if you get a very early Dragonite, it's mega weak and gets super quickly killed. Normally, you're not even trying to take damage. I mean, the best thing that you can do is just work around the cooldown on the Dragon's Breath the entire time and just get the damage out that way. Because it's just not strong enough. Hasn't scaled properly into the later stages of the game yet. Play is busy at the bottom of the map and getting himself a camp so far. Not detected by the opponent. Good stacks also for Jimmy on 12 on his Behemoth armor. They want him, and they can't get him. That did not go anywhere. But then the Stormbolt is making sure that the Haka is nearly getting extinct again. And they have to be cautious here. This is getting a bit tricky. Ah, the B-step though. I like it. Overconfidence after a failed gank attempt. Great. So far this is going amazingly well for the blue team. They're level ahead. They are taking down a lot at the bot lane. They have top side. Also Rexa, who is doing a lot of work there. Maybe, no kill because Iron Skin was out. But I gotta say, this is looking fantastic. 20 stacks already for the Behemoth armor. That makes Jimmy a lot more tanky. They got a good damage in, but now Muradin dies. So now Muradin is gone. That might change things up a little bit. Maybe they can go for a second kill even. Blaze. Nope, they turn it on Jojo. And that is the main tank gone for Team Ash. So it's just a trade in tanks and the fight isn't over. Raynor gets finally eliminated. And so does the Haka. So they're just trading kills blow for blow the entire time. And we have 5 kills to 3 now overall, but the leading experience is just nasty. This is becoming problematic. Level 10 is going to be there any moment. And Genji, he screwed up a little bit. And he gets the heal, but Anduin is likely going to die as a result. He gets slowed down and gets murdered. He died for Genji. At least he died for a good cause. I mean, let's be honest here. If you had to decide who you would invite to your party, or who you would like to survive your party, it would be Genji. It wouldn't be Anduin. Anduin, honestly, I wouldn't even invite Anduin to a party. I think he's a huge killjoy. He's just gonna talk all day long about like righteousness and stuff, and how you shouldn't drink alcohol or some crap like that. Yeah, nobody invites Anduin to a party. Let's be honest about this. Maybe to a church meeting or something, but that's about it. So yeah, no parties for Anduin. 10 is in. Falling Sword. I called it already. I talked about this earlier. Against Ana, gimme Falling Sword and let's see where we're at. Now we get it. Light Bomb, Falling Sword, let's go. And against Jimmy, it's of course great too. So Ana is down. Jimmy is in the bunker. As is a lot of toilet paper, because Blaze is a prepper and he bought tons of it during COVID. Ah! Yeah, Blaze has everything in his bunker. OJ's other glove is in there, for example. Oh, Jimmy wants a kill, and I think he's just gonna die. Okay, so we are really reaching a point where Team Ash is starting to gain some momentum here. That's 3 kills in a row now, and 6 kills versus 6 overall. Jimmy has now also died, twice actually. But yeah, they're doing pretty well in those last couple of battles. Now, I'm still looking at those stacks for Behemoth armor on Raynor's side though, and that is not bad. So, if he keeps the pace up, he will be very tough to kill in the late game. Hazu, talking about killing things, he goes down. The Haka also got killed. He got destroyed up at the top lane. So, as I said before, they are at this point just at each other's throat. They're going blow for blow, time and time again, with the same amount of kills here. And the red team is just trying their best to force a 3rd game in the series. They don't want to go down just now. Jimmy has the top damage with 32,000. 20,000 for Zagara. Light Bomb. Anduin. The jet propulsion seals the deal. He is gone. Jimmy puts a bullet right between the eyes. Genji gets a kill and then dies. Yeah, that's not the only one that's gonna die. Oh, nice. Falling a sword and... the penetrating round was just a little bit too short. Jojo is able to get away. Is she? Yes. Nice. Rexa came in with the ult. Iron Skin comes up. And Johanna is able to get away. Neat. Very neat. But the blue team is right at the doorstep of that bottom fort. And eager to take it out. So they're going to try and destroy it. Obliterate that. 9 kills to 8. Okay. Top side. This is something that needs to be dealt with. I mean, again, this is actually gonna take more out than I expected it to. So that's a bit of a problem. Next objective is also up. Maybe now the red team can try and make a move there, but they still need to defend the top side. bishops, by the way. Genji on that little choo-choo train. It's just amazing. That's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. Yeah, they decided to not defend the top. The next minion wave that came in is now pushing this back. But still, trying to go for Muradin here a bit. Yeah, and Muradin is actually eating a lot of damage. Needs some attention from Ana. A little bit of love over there. The gap in experience has been opened up again, though. And Muradin is sneaking in for a Dragonite. Muradin is sneaking in for a Decay and picks it. At least the Siege Giants are taken. Genji engage, but yeah. Honestly, one of the things that I would like to see at some point, can you imagine a mod where every hero has both their ults? That would be incredible. But yeah, for now, actually talking about ults, they have nothing. No ults, no life. That's 3 down. Zagara, Genji, and Jojo are all dead. Now here we go. But just imagine something like, I don't know. Oh, no, he's dead too. The other guys, they are all dying. They're 5-man team wipe. Everybody's gone. They killed the entire team. No chance here. But imagine Joanna jumping in with a falling sword and then following that up with a shield. That would be just crazy. So blessed shield stun after falling sword. It would be kind of fun if they had all their ults and could use both. But currently, I'm not even sure if ults will save the day for Team Ash. They are down a talent, and yeah, after that 5-man wipe, they are in need of a bit of a miracle. The Haga comes in, they're trying to go for Ana. Bunker is now out. They are playing so well around the abilities of Team Ash. Honestly, the coordination from Exodia stack here, it's incredible. 3 down, Jojo, Dehaka, and Zagara all eliminated. That's 17 kills to 8. They're 3 levels ahead. They're diving in deep in an attempt to also get the healer destroyed. So that's Anduin gone. Genji, the only survivor. The keep is already out, and they are just murdering them. Exodia stack, they are going through Team Ash like hot butter through cheese with another 5-man team wipe, melting them away. And that is an easy win here in that winner bracket semi-final. So they move on to the winners final. Nicely done and a well-deserved victory. No doubt about it. 2-0 for Exodia stack. Unless they're starting to grief or the internet disconnects. That's the only way how Team Ash can still win this, if all of a sudden they lose electricity like Spain did just a couple of days ago. But that's not happening. So we have a W for the blue team. Still farming kills a bit. We have 22-9 at this point. But that's the end. GG, nicely done, well played. A 2-0 victory. Exodia stack moves on. Team Ash drops down into the losers bracket.